Any plans to visit East Coast resorts next winter? Will you do an East Coast ski trip? Do you ever plan to ski out on the East Coast? Do you plan on coming to the East Coast?
Remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need that energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me. When the truth don't work, you start telling lies. Thought you were down to ride, you weren't down to ride. Caught switching, you were picking sides. Don't blink, caught slipping like a slip and slide. I was shooting dice till I got a nosebleed. Money on the floor, can't get cold feet. Took a L, should've put it in the offering. Lord, forgive me for my sins, don't know of me.
Well, the final pieces for my mountain bike just arrived last night. I finally got my pedals, and I also picked up some new shoes. I was able to get 40% off my order at Crank Brothers, so I figured it was kind of a good time to just be dialed in because I only had that 40% off for a one-time order. So I picked up some pedals, picked up some shoes. If you guys missed last video, I finally pulled the trigger on my own full suspension mountain bike. I ended up going with the YT Capra Core 2. I haven't been able to ride it or do anything because I haven't had pedals. Finally got the pedals, but rather than me just doing a video on me putting pedals on because that's extremely boring, I realized I've never truly done a proper official Q&A, especially as the channel has grown over the years. And I think maybe we might even be able to get our first ride in with the YT later tonight. First question comes from Jill Dredd. She asks about skiing for next year. Any plans, passes, trips, new gear, all that sort of stuff. And to be honest, I haven't really put much thought into it. I mean, I'm definitely gonna get the Epic and Icon Pass again. I would like to do another heli skiing trip, but I don't have anything actually planned as of now. I would love to just travel more in general. As far as gear goes, I really have no reason to change the gear that I have, but I could see myself getting the newer White Walkers and stuff like that. But yeah, as of right now, I haven't put too much thought into it. Japan would be insane if that ever happened, but not gonna get my hopes up on that. So next question we have comes from Charlie Aviator. Says, what do you think of the only skier resorts like Elta? Should other resorts do the same? To be honest, man, I am obviously a little bit more indifferent to it because I'm a skier myself, but I don't really see much of a difference between resorts that allow snowboarders and resorts that don't allow snowboarders in terms of the skiing and the quality. I guess there's some cases where a snowboarder might sort of just push all the snow down the mountain, whatever, skiers create bigger moguls. I don't know, I don't really care, but like I said, I don't think we need to have skier only mountains and snowboard only mountains. I think we can all play fairly together and enjoy the mountains. Next question comes from T Martin _11. Is Zipline sponsoring you? I guess, sure. If so, do you have any tips on getting sponsors for a park skier? I think the term sponsor gets thrown around like very heavily nowadays. And to me, I don't really consider someone being sponsored unless you're getting paid or compensated from that company directly to use their gear. Just getting free stuff to me isn't necessarily really like a sponsorship. So my partnership with Zipline has been very chill. I've never signed anything with Zipline or Chuck, the company owner there. However, they have given me goggles, gloves, poles, really for the past like 6 years now, but they don't pay me each month or each season to just use their gear. I could honestly go use Smith or something if I really wanted to. I don't have like an exclusivity to them. When it comes to getting sponsors, look, in my opinion, if you're good enough at what you do, be it skiing, be it biking, be it making videos, right? Companies will notice and they will want to partner with you. So my advice would be don't try to get sponsored. The way to get notice is one, just being really good at what you do, but also having a personality, being likable, being someone that the company wants to invest in and have you represent what they stand for. But don't worry about being sponsored or getting sponsored. Just focus on being really good at what you do and everything else will fall into place. That's really the only advice I can give you. Adventurer Carlo 115 on YouTube asks, what's your favorite ski resort you've been to besides Snowbird? I get asked this question all the time. Snowbird is my favorite, but I'm probably gonna have to say besides Snowbird that I've been to, Revelstoke, Kicking Horse, those I gotta probably say are some of my favorite ones other than Snowbird. Yeah, maybe Revelstoke. Revelstoke is just absolutely sick. Chitty05 on Instagram asks, what's the gnarliest adventure / trip you've ever been on? A very fun adventure was when I traveled to the South Island of New Zealand for 2 weeks in a camper van, kind of just ran around the South Island, and I ended up doing what was called the Mueller Hut, which was kind of like a backcountry hut in the Mount Cook National Park. I forgot how long it was. It wasn't that far, maybe 3 or 4 miles up. And then we stayed the night in this backcountry hut that was completely solar powered with strangers from all over the world, Czech Republic, the UK. Fun adventure that I've never did anything like that before, staying in a hut. So that was fun. I definitely want to go back to New Zealand, both for summer, winter, all around. Such a sick place. Ben Garfinkel 16 says, are you doing more racing in the M2 this season? Would love to see some in-car footy from that. Why, yes, I am. We are currently second in the standings. We've raced at Sonoma, Sebring, Florida, and most recently COTA in Austin, Texas. And we have a little bit of a summer break right now, but we will be heading to Virginia towards the end of July for the remainder of the season. Haven't really shared much on racing because I just feel like it's something that not only doesn't really do well on the channel, but just stuff that not a lot of people really understand, or it's kind of tough to watch. But yeah, still been racing. That is really my #1 passion when it comes to adrenaline sports. So we're gonna be at Virginia. If anyone's interested in coming, I can get anyone passes. This is kind of an interesting question that I'm willing to answer because you asked it, and it's something different than am I going to Telluride this year. Jared Chapman on Instagram says, why did you quit marijuana? Was it a good decision, and the positive and negatives of it? So a little backstory on this. Really from, I would say, like 2010, I want to say up to around 2017, I was a pretty active user on and off, some periods more than others. And I found that it really helped me a lot when I was studying biochemistry. There was something like just using a little cannabis and then doing different synthesis reactions and all this stuff. But as I got older, sort of my attitude on it changed, and it had different impacts on me. I got really, I would be really mean to myself. I already kind of struggle with like self-doubt and self-confidence issues. And so when I would use marijuana, I would be really mean to myself internally. It was like this other voice came out in my head, and I would just think everything that I'm doing was so stupid. You're an idiot. I can't believe you would do that. And I would just sit there and talk to myself like this. And I was like, this is like, I don't know if this is a larger problem that's surfacing when I get into an altered state, but it just made it so I didn't want to do my YouTube because I just would tell myself how stupid I am, and just wasn't healthy. And so I figured, as much as I enjoyed it at times, as I got older and went through college and into grad school, and life starts to become more real, I just figured it wasn't the best facilitator for what I'm trying to do with my life. So it's been one of the best decisions I've made in my 20s, absolutely. I just feel way more motivated, and more importantly, I just feel like I'm true to myself. I don't really drink alcohol. I rarely take any sort of stimulants or supplements. So I've just been enjoying sort of maximizing who I am as a 30-year-old male and allowing myself to feel natural and not think I need to be high or something to enjoy life. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I clearly was a user myself, but I guess some of the negatives of stopping is that there's sometimes when I'm around a campfire or out camping, right, or something, the right music comes on, I'm like, wow, this would be nice to just relax and, smoke a joint or something. But yeah, none of that to me is worth sort of the negative mindset that it creates with me. Some people, it does the complete opposite, but for me, it just creates a lot more paranoia and anxiety than helps with. So interesting question, but that's why. And we got both the pedals on. These are the Crankmasters Stamp 7s. These are the Fabio Whitmer edition. I just thought they were kind of the gold with the white and black were kind of cool, and we'll work with whatever I put on. But yeah, super rad. Just went with flats for now, but at least we have pedals. So Phil.Alves asked, did you go to college? And if so, what was your major? So I did go to college from 2011 to 2015, and I got a Bachelor's of Science in Biochemistry. So I studied science in college. And then after college, I took a year off and went to graduate school, where I received my Master's of Business Administration, more commonly referred to as an MBA, with a focus or a concentration in management. So yeah, I did college, went on to get a higher education in grad school, but nothing related to film or the outdoor industry or anything like that. My original plan was to go to medical school, kind of follow the footsteps of my dad, but realized that really wasn't for me. So I'm a big proponent of education. Any plans to visit East Coast resorts next winter? Will you do an East Coast ski trip? Do you ever plan to ski out on the East Coast? Do you plan on coming to the East Coast? Perhaps the most asked question I get across anywhere, the live streams, comments, is East Coast skiing. And guys, I grew up in central New York, Syracuse, New York. I went to college out there, lived out there my entire life until I was 23 years old. And so I don't really have any plans of going back to the East Coast. I don't enjoy it. The fact of the matter is that the snow was just way too inconsistent. It will snow, then the next day it will be 40 degrees and rain, and all the snow will go away. In my opinion, East Coast skiing and West Coast skiing are almost two different sports. They really aren't the same. With that being said, a deal I made, I want to say maybe 2 seasons ago, was if the channel ever hits 100,000 subscribers, I will take Luna the van and we will drive out to the East Coast and do an East Coast tour. I don't know which mountains I'm going to, I don't know where I'm going, so don't ask me that. But yeah, if you want me to come to the East Coast, share the channel, make sure you're subscribed, and maybe next year we'll hit 100,000 and I will keep my word and go to the East Coast. But I have negative desire to go ski the East Coast. Henry Faulkner says, do you have any plans for future collabs with different content creators in the skiing and mountain biking space? Do you think it's economical to go to college or live in Salt Lake City for college or a gap year? I don't have any plans, right? I mean, I don't have anything planned for as terms of collaborations. I always love being able to shoot with Abe Kislevitz. I think me and him have very similar styles and we're able to just kind of do our own thing, but still work together, if that makes sense. I find myself very introverted when it comes to making videos and talking to the camera. I struggle being around other people and still connecting with you guys, the audience. I feel like it becomes a disconnect when I'm with other people that I can't really focus on addressing you guys. When it comes to mountain biking, there is a channel called Mahalo My Dude, and I watched one of his series or some of it about them biking through British Columbia bike parks, and I just thought the style of it, the way it went down, it was just really well done, but it still looked like they were having a fun time, and I think that's where I would like to see my content go at some point in the future. And they just seem like they obviously rip on the bikes, but a really sort of ripping group of people to be around. And also the Lone Ranger is another sort of mountain bike guy who I think just is very approachable. He seems very friendly, someone who again is very good on the bike, but someone who's not like absolutely crazy and stuff like that. But those are all big time channels. I don't really see myself, being able to work with people like that, but that would be cool in the future. So, and then your second question, do you think it's economical to go to college or live in Salt Lake? Look, as I said earlier, I'm a proponent for education. I think it's important, but when I went to college 10 plus years ago, the times were a lot different than they are now. You can learn almost everything on the internet. I would say if you're in a position where you can go to college, maybe your parents have a college fund set up, you can go to school without taking on loads and loads of debt, I do think it's worth it. If you're gonna go to college, for something you could maybe learn online and you need to take out a bunch of loans, I don't really think you need to do that. I think debt is such a hard thing to get out of and something that really limits people in their path in life. So if it's something where you have to take a bunch of debt on, I would think twice about going to college, unless it's something like going to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. So it kind of depends on your situation and what you're looking for, but I do think if you can go to college, I would definitely take that opportunity. Nathan Weiss asked, what do you dream of in your future? What do you think is your next step in content? My stuff is so run and gun, meaning I just put the camera down, walk past it. It's a very sort of guerrilla style vlog. I'd love to create more like a bit more like documentary feature type videos and stories, and I feel like I dabbled in that a little bit more, but I don't think the end all be all is just like 20-minute YouTube vlogs of my ski day. But right now that's what's worked, so I don't want to overthink too much of it, but there is an element of sort of unfulfillment with that style. And when it comes to my future, I don't really know, man. I'm 30. I feel like I'm kind of going through a midlife crisis of not really knowing what to do. So I guess all that to be said, I would love to hit 100,000 subscribers kind of within like the next year. I think would be really cool. And I would love to create just content that is a little bit more professional, more legit. When it comes to my future, I don't really know, man. I have a scary feeling. It is a scary feeling because I feel like I've always known like what I'm doing, what's next, what my next goal is, or my next thing that I'm pushing towards. Graduate college and grad school and everything else. And then it was kind of like really focused on building a YouTube channel and everything. And now I just feel like, I don't know, I guess this is now when you just live and enjoy life, but I have a hard time kind of doing that. So we got the handlebars all set up. Stoke Squad, you can use the official helmet sticker, even kind of separate them on the bars. The little GoPro logo so people know what camera I'm using. But yeah, it should look pretty rad when I'm the head cam POV. Stoke Squad representing.
My mama told me trust in God, it's never limits. Now I'm on the scoreboard running up the digits. I put in work, you know I'm up to get it. Early bird gets the worm and the Yankee fitted. Like whoa, bags under my eyes and you know.
I think we are ready to get out of here and give our YT Capra its first ride of the season. Jay, who is a moderator on the channel, actually invited me to do some shuttle laps on a very popular trail here called Wasatch over Wasatch, I believe, or more commonly abbreviated as the WOW Trail. I have not been on the bike, since September of last year, and obviously this bike hasn't been ridden at all. So, but before we get down there, I have one final question to answer from Del Mavino. How difficult is it to stay true to yourself on social media and YouTube? I thought this was a very interesting question, but also one that's quite simple. I mean, I don't really think it is that difficult, just largely because I think most people are gonna see through it, and it's something you can't put up like some sort of persona for very long. It just doesn't last. And I think, you know, it might work for a little bit in the beginning, but you know, to do YouTube, like I think I'm going on 6 years or something of just putting my life on the internet. Like you can't put up a facade. And I think more importantly, people want to see like the real person. I think that's what makes channels like relatable, is that it's another person in life trying to figure it out just like everyone else. I think where the challenge can come in from my own experience is when I transition to doing this full time, it is kind of tough sometimes to not want to cater towards content that does better, gets more clicks, more views, and therefore, you know, earns more revenue. So authenticity, being genuine and sincere is what, in my opinion, makes a channel sustainable. Anyways, that was fun. I'll have to do that again, answer some more questions. But yeah, let's go. Time to go ride some bikes. Do you want to give us some data on what we're about to drop into?
Yeah, so we're heading down Wasatch over Wasatch Trail, the WOW Trail. It's about, I'd say, 11 to 12 mile flowy downhill the whole way. There's some switchbacks, a couple areas where it might get a little rocky and techy, but you know, it's rated blue. I'd say the biggest pull out of this trail will be the views. As you go down, you're getting views of Heber Valley, looking down over Midway, and it's a really cool trail in terms of biomes. You start out, you know, you're kind of in a higher alpine desert. You get down in the aspens, it gets a little thicker into some of the pines, so you really get a good mix of nature out here, and it's a fun trail.
What are you riding?
So right now I got the Stump Jumper, the Specialized. We got Damon, he's on the Santa Cruz, the Nomad, and then Lucas with the brand new YT here.
Brand new. Yeah, I was gonna introduce you guys to Damon. What up, Damon?
How's it going, everyone?
You got the Nomad?
Yep.
The V5 though?
V5 Nomad.
Sick. Have you ridden this trail?
I have once.
Okay. Does it live up to its hype?
It does. Good views and nice and mellow the whole way down.
Sick.
So it should be fun.
Let's do it. WOW Trail. Oh, this is sick. I've never done this before. Oh, this is already so sick. Wow. Phew. Oh. Oh yeah. Holy shit. How does this side look like on the left right there? That's sick. There you go, keep the shoes dry. I don't think there's any way around this one, dude. Oh, you're logging it. Look at this, right through the trail. Nice. Oh, this is badass. Hi, line. It rained last night, so the dirt is like really nice. Yo, look at that view. Wow, look at the view. Oh, that's so fun. Oh, look at this. God damn. Oh. Damon, how we feeling?
Pretty tired.
Yeah.
Pumping.
It's pretty sick though. The views coming like into the light and stuff. Are we mostly downhill from here?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a little more climbing than I anticipated, but it was honestly good to try this bike and with shit like that too.
Yeah.
Yep. You get a feel for what it's capable of too. I mean, you can crush in that, no problem.
It looked so good like 20 minutes ago. Now it's through the water. Like,
I just pressure wash mine.
I gotta get a pressure washer.
Yeah, as long as you're not blasting the bottom bracket. Or...
Look at this view. Like I've never ever been back here in my life. That is so cool that we could come back here. Ew! Oh, that's sick. Look how beautiful this is. I know I keep saying it, but
I don't remember any of this.
look at that view. We have the final section here. Whoa. That was not the right line. Yeah, neither did I. Followed you. That was a ton of fun. Not to mention beautiful. A little bit more climbing than I thought, but honestly great first day on the YT Capra. Hi.
Hold up, Maka. Oh, sorry.
You okay?
Trail, Maka.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
Maka, on trail. Come here.
Sweet, all right.
What up, man? How was it?
That was sick, dude.
What'd you think?
Dude, it was rad.
Yeah, I'm glad you're able to make it out.
I'm glad.
Well, next Tuesday we have to do an Empire shuttle.
Should be open.
Yeah, I think Moose House all the way down, and it's perfect because we end up in town.
That's sick. I'd love to do that. Oh, that was too much fun. Oh. Well, I am totally stoked that everything worked out. There wasn't a single issue with the bike. The brakes felt great. Shifting felt great. Suspension, travel-wise, felt great. I mean, just such a hoot. Massive thank you to Jay for inviting me, taking me out here, showing me a trail as epic as wow. It's definitely one that I think is really, really cool to do. I mean, it's a little bit more cross-country-esque, but I don't know, there's still a ton of downhill to it. Like, there's a little bit of everything, which is really cool. So I think it was a great way to break in the bike and kind of really put it through its paces. So I think this video is pretty long, but whatever, it's all good. So stoked for more riding this year. Thanks for watching, squad. I'll see all of you guys in the next episode. Take it easy, fam. Peace out.